Before I draw any lines, I like to first feel where my subject will sit on the page. I'm imagining the space that my little Wolfie, will occupy and how big I want him to be. This lesson has two parts. In the first part, I'm using Wolfie because his shapes are very clear. A big round head, a boxy body, simple legs, perfect for showing how to block in with basic forms. The diagonal pose also makes it easier to practice judging angles, proportions, and key turning points. In the second part, I'll switch to a pear and demonstrate the same process more quickly. I'll narrate only when we reach the key moment where the angle shifts and a new dimension begins. I'll see you there. If you want help with the shading and value after this, I already have separate videos on that. To avoid distorted shapes, I don't try to draw the dog or the pear right away. Instead, I look for the simplest shapes I can see. Reduce what you see into basic shapes. The head is basically a circle, the body is a tilted box. The leg is a wedge, and so on. The shapes don't have to be perfectly geometric. They just need to be simplified versions of what you see. The first stage is called blocking in. At this stage, think of your lines as temporary construction lines. Use light pressure and loose, sketchy, or broken lines. You'll make corrections. That's the point of this phase. Next, begin noticing where the outline changes direction. These are your turning points. A helpful way to think about this is like a dot-to-dot drawing. There is a huge difference when you're aware of these anchor points. When you ignore them, shapes easily become wobbly or vague. When you look for them, your drawing becomes more accurate and solid. To improve accuracy, don't only look at the object. Also look at the space around and between the parts of your subject. These are your negative shapes. At the same time, check the relationships between shapes. How tall is the head compared to the body? How wide is one part compared to another? You can use your pencil as a simple sighting tool. Hold it up to compare angles and the relative lengths on your subject. Then, check those same measurements against your drawing. In this lesson, we'll rely mostly on freehand observation and basic pencil sighting. More precise measuring and sighting techniques will come in future lessons. Work across the whole drawing so everything develops together. Step back regularly and squint your eyes to see the overall shapes, not tiny details. Now you can begin refining with more confident lines. Gradually clean up the drawing, erase construction lines, and smooth the blocky shapes into more natural curves. Now I'm switching to the pear demonstration. Most of this section will be quiet so you can simply observe the drawing process. This is the intersection I wanted to point out. This is not just a random point on the outline. It marks a structural shift, where one part of the form turns into another, and where a new plane or dimension begins. Paying attention to these turning points and treating them intentionally, rather than just smoothly following the contour, can greatly improve your drawing. This is not about drawing a pear. This applies to every subject you'll ever draw. Any complex subject is just a collection of simple shapes placed in the right relationship. Once you learn to block in, look for the turning points, use negative space, and vary your line quality, you can start any drawing with confidence, even if it looks complicated at the first glance.